Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for March Comes In Like a Lion, Season 2, Episode 14.
Oh boy, we are in the clear, I believe.
I believe, yeah.
And in fact, we might be about to start soaring through sunshine and rainbows and happiness.
Yeah, we still have all the stuff going on individually with Rei and his whole family situation. If we ever bring back up our lovely friend Kyoko, who's been missing for a while. But in terms of the Kawamoto situation and Hina specifically with the bullying, a lot of it is resolved seemingly. There are some cool new things on the horizon where Hina's going to be able to visit Chiho. Akari still has her latent stuff from the past that will need addressing at some point, but that doesn't need to happen soon. But it's probably going to be more of a thing of we've got Shogi kind of stuff on the horizon.
Yeah, and potentially these budding feelings that Hina may have for Rei. And maybe the other way around, too.
Might have for Hina, yeah. We'll have to see. I'm looking forward to seeing how Rei takes initiative in just the story in general. Not specifically with the relationship or anything, but what is his next step? Because this was one of the first times in the story where him actively trying to be there for Hina was him proactively taking initiative, really.
And the only thing we have looking forward to that we know of is his match with Soya at some point. So,
So, I guess that's it. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, we're going to be starting the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Straight into the OP. All right. It's interesting when we rewatched that Madoka Magica episode the other day. There was a couple things in terms of the coloring and the lighting and stuff that I was like, hey, Sangatsu. Like things where you realize certain studio kind of
it's not
traits.
Just the neck tilt.
There are a lot of other things that Shaft does across all their shows that is more than just the character designs or what have you. And Sangatsu definitely has its own specific look, but things with regards to the pastels, the lighting, the way it's done, I think it's masterfully done here in this show. But
this whole OP just feels like a warm hug.
Yeah, especially right here.
Yeah,
it's practically surrounding him to the point where he's immersed in it.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool. So everything was bright pink for Rei, right?
Yeah.
And then the Kawamotos were there, and it was like autumn colors, but then pink started to appear in the center. Oh.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Flowing away. That's definitely a shogi title. With the water and oh my. This looks like a shoujo manga cover. That's exactly what they wanted, right? They're like, it's so gorgeous.
Blushing.
Yeah. Look at it.
Wow.
Art. What is this?
And of course, the thing that came from a manga is going into detail into how everything looks.
Yeah. I even splurged on the printing. Oh! Ah! No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was like the pictures were just slapped on top.
Yeah.
Ah!
Wow.
Ah. Oh, ouch! Ouch! Oh, crap!
Was he cough?
Oh no! Jeez! This poor guy! Oh my god! Say you had to make all of that. No! And I feel so bad for laughing, but...
Well, and Shimada is at least lifting the piece up. The other guy, Yanagihara, he just pushes it. They're wearing the masks so that they don't get sick.
Oh man. Oh man. The Showa period. Wow. Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah,
I'll bet. There's so many people there. So few people. They're all sitting in that circle there.
Yeah.
Oh. A bookstore, an electronics store. Mr. Mountain Climber. Yes, yes. Oh my. Wow.
Because you had to go and beat him.
Yeah, like...
was somewhat appalling.
That feels like a Monogatari shot. The way, like it was framed there. Like there's practically the borders of a border between them. Like, couldn't you tell?
Like this is the lowest energy, like oldest sort of like declaration of rivalry.
All the stuff in the background. That was awesome. All right, Shimada.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
The saxophone in the background.
Yep. Yeah, the chairman is like definitely a salesman and an admin position.
Oh yeah, I mean he's running a business after all.
Well, but that's the thing though, is that he's in an admin position though. Like he'd be better off actually at the front lines, you know? Oh. Too late. Golden goose, though. That's a particular phrase with particular meaning.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he worked a long time to get even into a position where this was possible.
Yep. Is this a picture of like the poster, like a smaller version of it or something?
No, I think it's a game's statistic thing. It's because they usually have 2 pages. So he's probably looking at Shimada and Yanagihara's match from the previous bit. Completely ignoring me. Yep. Morioka. Okay.
I'll bet.
He's passing on the info about Hina's situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love how he can talk to Hayashida about all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so good. The air around her has an airy feeling. Oh. Oh. Okay, now
come on.
Hayashida's...
She already called you a baka.
Yep. Yep. It's like he knows.
Yeah.
Oh, Kiriyama's like, Yep.
He's like, are you psychic or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, that line! That line is so good! Oh my god!
I mean, it kind of does, but
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Oh. I love it. He's not solving it for him. He's just like, yeah, like asking good questions and then
Oh. Huh. You know what I'm a little bit worried about?
Ooh, what's that?
Is that Kyoko shows up because she sees something about it in like
a
the
fancy
papers or
poster.
something. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh,
yeah.
Oh wow, he's right there. Okay. We have some kind of leaning office building there. See, that was like
it's modern art
at like an 80-degree angle or something.
"4 days."
Oh wow! All right. Oh, White Storm.
Okay.
That's pretty telling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyoko's right behind him in the train or the bus. Psych, you know. Like, I would have a conniption if that happened. just immediate like heart attack seizure. Just it's very, very unique. Yeah.
Okay. Whoa.
Okay. The way he walked over
Ray's
there.
like, what's going on?
Wow. Oh, dang.
He really didn't spare expense.
Yeah. Holy crap. Oh. It's a hand-carved mahogany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the poster's huge.
Plus, it looks like it could eat him, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
A hot spring episode with a bunch of old guys.
Yeah, seriously. Wow.
It's so big and empty, and he's just like,
That is a mood right there. That is a mood. Yes. Yes. Oh, man.
Kyoko's gonna be at the hot spring.
Oh my god, we're like paranoid, yeah. Wait.
He's just at the bath in his hotel.
Modern kid has never been in the bath with someone
Yeah.
else. Doesn't have the
Guest's address.
Player's address. Oh no. Oh no.
The water's just overflowing.
Player's address. That's a big nope from me. I would just be like, thank you all for coming here. Goodbye.
Less is more.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
He's keeping his head down.
Yep. Yeah, so this is what Soya deals with all the time.
Yep.
Whoa. Just match Soya. Just do whatever he's doing.
Pretty much.
This is going to bond them because... Oh. I never noticed this, but they put a shading over his eyes. Oh. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like how we're not hearing anything he says. Like,
Mm-hmm.
mm. Oh, yeah, we're back. We're back here. It's been a while.
Wow. Okay. Yep. Right.
Oh. Oh.
Cool.
Wow. Wow.
Flow. Okay.
What a diplomat. Like, he's amazing. Yeah. They're like, oh, yes. Ooh. Good question. Oh, he didn't answer the question, though. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't answer the question at all. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, crap. He is not doing well.
Now he's all gray.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, wow. You absent-minded general.
Oh.
Jeez.
Okay.
That poor waitress. She probably feels so bad. Oh.
And maybe that's where Rei and him can connect a lot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because Rei's been there. That's the kind of storm that Rei's been in.
That's the storm that Rei actually got out of.
Right, exactly.
Like, thanks to the Kawamotos and just... Oh, cool.
Nice.
His same kind of look, but it's a kimono. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Oh. I don't know enough about the culture to know what that is, but I like
what
it.
It's supposed to symbolize.
Yeah.
But... Meanwhile, Rei's in his school uniform.
But the idea of the modern versus the traditional,
the
new versus the old,
yeah,
it fits so well.
It definitely does.
And he's like the master, the student. You know, it's grace and flow, and then kind of the tight, strict thing, but maybe also the burdened and the unburdened. Like, I could go on. There's on here.
There's tons of stuff here.
Unseasonable. Okay.
All right.
Well, the match will begin next episode. Dang.
Okay.
What now I know we've been introduced to Soya before.
Right, but I feel like this was more of a true introduction because we had just seen him, but he'd never really the most of an introduction I feel like we got was him being at the pond with Rei, and
the
then
pond,
him telling Shimada, "It's okay, I'll handle it."
Right,
you know,
right. Those are the two really deep things that came from him,
right,
versus other people's perception of him.
Yeah,
which I think is a huge part of his character, in that he is maintaining his appearance in some way so much that he mechanically gives these answers without even thinking about what he's doing. So it's not a conscious effort anymore. Like, he's just robotically giving it out. So the metaphor of his appearance being dashed by the wine is basically him saying, I don't even know anymore. I'm like I said, barely holding on to his human form. Like, he's so disconnected from the immediate reality.
Yeah.
That it's just him being like, yes, I will give my mechanical response to these mortal humans who desire my time and presence and energy.
Because I'm here to play this game. I'm probably thinking about this game, or maybe other things in my own life,
or he's stopped thinking. Like, it's become a thing where it's just,
he's just sort of...
It's just going through the motions.
Yeah, well,
like a metronome. Just tick, tick. Oh.
Okay. So there were some surprises here, for sure. Yeah, Soya. Oh, boy.
Yeah. You know how we talk about dramatic character introductions?
This is that.
This is that, because we've seen him and been introduced to him and all that since season 1. But
we haven't really been introduced to the kind of person that he is. Just not up close anyways. And I feel like, maybe, like, let me know what you think about this, but I would not be surprised if he was super depressed.
Oh, yes.
Like,
absolutely. This show is all about color, and he is void of color. Right. Like completely.
And the whole aspect of the white, could be like snow, a blizzard, whatever, potentially cold. Fresh beginnings, cold, or unattainable, or whatever.
Sure.
But in this, it reminded me more of death.
Yeah, I think the way to look at it is definitely along the lines of a detached aspect from what is reality, life, color.
Right.
Now, white contains all the colors in it. That's what white is, but the thing is that it is muted. So I think the point is, when we saw him, you noticed the gray. That was revealing the dead inside, depression, the lack of care for himself and what's going on in his environment.
Yeah, and the golden egg comment, while I don't hold anything against the chairman for
using that
because because it's the thing of he's the champion,
the golden goose,
right, or the golden goose, that could communicate a lot about Soya, and the fact that they draw all these parallels between Soya and Rei, the fact that Rei has been so depressed in the past, that could be a way for them to keep that parallel going, but also for Rei to potentially help Soya, because they could connect around that, right?
Yep. Especially if it's a 4-day experience. What I'm really excited about this was, I thought this was a
play
match,
one game and then they're done.
Play one game and they're done. But if it's 4 days, I think they'll go for like a best 2 out of 3 or something.
Potentially.
Which is like, that would make sense then. 4 days, you have the day where you arrive, and then you basically have one match there. You have the next day where you have one match, and the third day you have a match, and then the 4th day you have basically a rest, recuperate, talking about the whole match kind of thing.
It could also be that there's a bunch of basically pomp surrounding it, with the whole idea of the whole events of this whole thing. That was probably 1 day, right? And then the next day it's like, okay, now we're doing the match.
That's possible too.
So it there could be more to it, but but yeah, the fact that it's not just going to be a quickly done thing, that they could have time after, and to connect and things like that, and the fact that this is their first game now, there's the whole thing of the train ride and stuff like that. While neither of them are particularly social creatures, it's something where the ice will have been broken, hopefully by that point, because they'll play together a bit, and
I just gotta say, the wine thing is brilliant on a just a stupidly high level. I would never have in 1,000 years written that scene that way. If I was involved at all in the creative process, when the mangaka comes up with this is what's going to happen, I've just been like, you're brilliant.
Well, and the thing is,
you're absolutely brilliant.
On the one hand, it shows the whole thing of how depressed and detached Soya is, but then it also, the idea that it's the color of blood.
Yes.
Right? Red wine, and it's
on white.
On white. And the idea that basically you could say that it's showing that he's a wounded creature. You could say that it's basically showing that blood is also life, right? And the whole no color aspect, right?
Nothing. There was no effect on him at all.
So then white could be the idea that he has been drained of blood, right? He has been drained of all of that, right?
There's so many things.
Like there's tons that you can take from this. Yeah.
Like I feel like we, over the years of discussing anime and stuff, have gotten good at extrapolating, stuff out of nothing. Right. But there is so much just dripping with stuff to pull out of it. Yes, yeah. But it's just like, I cannot believe that it's just all right there.
And it could have just originated as a reasoning behind having Soya wear the kimono so that you can have the Rei in his school uniform of the modern and the young and the new versus the old and the traditional. Great battle there, right? Because that alone is fantastic, right?
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't have been surprised if even at the beginning, right, even if it's not what it ended up being, but even at the beginning it's like, well, I don't want him to wear a kimono, but that's not what they would end up doing most likely. So, or I need to have there to be a reason for him to be wearing a kimono but Rei not to be wearing a kimono. So there needs to be some change. Oh, I got it. His suit gets ruined and that's the only one he brought. Boom. Okay, his suit gets ruined. Well, usually with something like that, it'd be something that stains like wine. Ooh, but wine. What can that mean? And all that stuff.
The thought process is understandable when you reverse engineer it and you go backwards from it. But starting from it and having the first thing that he reacts to is non-answers for the questions that he was given,
and specifically about his health.
I can't applaud it enough. Like I love how well done this show is at understanding how to convey, in sometimes I would say overly dramatic ways, the mental health and the mental journey that all of their characters are on.
Right, because it's weird. Because on the one hand, sometimes this show is very subtle, right? Doing all those little things like
things that just go way over.
Right, exactly. Like how when I first watched the first part of the first season, I totally missed all the nods that they made to like the Kawamotos being poor, and saw all the times they were like counting pennies and things like that. But then there's things like this where it's like, this is very dramatic. This is, you can't miss this. Like everyone saw this. And more importantly, Rei saw this.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that he, like, he'll recognize this.
Oh, this is super familiar.
Yeah.
If he's not apparent to it yet, what he's going to be made aware of once maybe Soya starts playing, because this is something that I've loved that the show does, is you could make this show be about how the matches have their climaxes, their build-ups, and all these moments where the energy of the match, affects the players. But instead what it is it's more what Soya talks about, and it's that the players create a flow together, and it's like D&D. They create a story collaboratively. But that story reveals something about the internals of each player. So if one or both of the players are observant people, or at the very least similar enough to where they could recognize the internal story being displayed in that person's shogi, then you could have the internal thoughts about someone like Rei be commenting on that internal story battle thing that's being displayed from their opponent, in this case freaking Soya. So yeah, and if we get multiple matches too,
I'm gonna make a very specific
theory.
Okay,
go for it.
That is not necessarily grounded.
Oh,
but
all right.
I feel
making
like
a logic leap.
Yeah, but I feel like I might have hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
So way back in season 1.
Yeah.
Way back in season 1, near the pond scene, right?
Uh-huh.
It's mentioned that Soya lives with, I believe, his grandmother.
Yes, that's right. I think that's right. Yeah,
now,
I think that's right.
I would not be surprised at all if she just died or got really sick or something, right? And because of all the buildup that's happened to this match, because he's the golden goose, he has to keep going, right? Because the idea of him being depressed and stuff like that in general, okay, but he's functioned just fine so far. Why now, right? Because we were, it was displayed earlier when he was talking about, oh, what are you looking forward to with the match with Rei and things like that. He was so completely like he was completely up for it, right? He was giving the right answers, you know, even though he's not a social creature, he knew how to play that game, right?
Yeah.
This isn't his first rodeo.
Right.
And yet, he then totally flubs it later, right?
When talking about his health.
Now, granted, they were asking about his health.
But maybe it's the whole concept of, or idea of health that could tie into it?
Well, and the idea that maybe he's not doing well, but he still has to do this thing.
Sure.
So maybe it, like, and, you know, I could totally be wrong, right? His grandma might be fine. You know, maybe I'm misremembering and it's not even his grandma. It's like his aunt or something.
It's not his aunt.
I'm pretty sure it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they did something like that, that would tie into Rei losing his family, that would tie into the Kawamotos, them losing their family, and the depression that can come around that when you don't have a way to process it and talk about it, and you have things that you feel you need to do, but, you know, right, okay. Exactly, but you're not doing well, right? And the idea that it's okay to not be doing well, but in his case, when he's the demon god of Shogi, right, that is all in white, and he's the unattainable storm and all this stuff,
right,
he can't have the bad day, right? Especially not when they spent all this money to, you know, blow up this event and, you know, and all that stuff. He can't have a bad day.
Okay, I like that. I think that the idea of a singular event tells a more,
it's too like trite kind of.
Well, no, I would say it tells a more how would I say this? I'm not trying to say that he's not relatable, but I'm trying to say that there's something too relatable about it being just a singular event.
Right,
because like it tells more of a Shimada type relation thing, like where it's Shimada was worn down over the decades of time developed into this thing, and Soya is that old, but he has the youthful thing of this contrasted with the White Death kind of
I think what you're getting at, correct me if I'm wrong, is the idea that because it's something that's so relatable, that doesn't tell us as much about Soya as a character,
right?
Whereas if it's something that's long and ongoing, now it could potentially be both, right? And then this is the final nail in the coffin, you know, but the idea is that if it's just one thing that theoretically anyone could experience, then okay, what makes Soya?
Exactly. Thank you. You said that very well.
And the thing is that they could go into that, but the thing is that because they have such a distant approach with how they address Soya,
right?
You know,
because we don't really get his internals,
right? And it keeps him mysterious and all that stuff. It also causes us to not be able to determine what kind of person he is as easily until we get things like this that are so dramatic it can't be denied, right? And then you can think about that and all that, and hopefully later, whether, you know, right after this match or you know, back at the Shogi Hall,
or in the hot springs,
or in the hot springs.
Hey, that's kind of foreshadowed in a way. The idea that the hot springs would be an awkward thing to go with another person there, but if it's something where maybe he's like, oh, the hot springs aren't being used, good. But then, spoiler alert, actually, like Soya specifically like cordoned off one of them to be just himself so he can be alone. But then Rei shows up and it's like,
or Soya goes there at like a time when no one really goes. But then Rei also ends up going at that one time because he's like, I'll try it out when no one's there, and then it's like. And then the other person's there, and it's like, oh, yeah, you thought the same thing, huh?
Right. And Shaft is all about having bath scenes where people bare themselves to each other in order to connect
better understand each other.
And understand each other.
Yep. Yeah. And then toothbrushes are for other things.
Right.
But and if they had something like that, then that could be a way for Rei, since he's our perspective character, to get to know more about Soya, and through that, us know more about Soya.
Yeah. By the way, that comment about the Shaft thing, I know that Shaft didn't create this story. I'm just making a joke about them. Yeah, okay. So I like your idea of it being something that was a proverbial nail in the coffin of his depression and his overall mental health. Something being like that. I like it doubly so if they go into the idea that because he was so, tired and worn out up until that point, that he's unable not to process it with someone, but is unable to actually feel as strongly about it as he would, and then it's something that when he's like, so it's not like he's ignoring it, but he's so busy and all these other things, it just whisked on by.
Right.
And now
he just sort of bottles it up for later, and
Well, yeah, but that's not even a conscious thing. It just ends up getting bottled up for later, and then this mention of a health thing was a subconscious thing that just poof, just popped it out.
Right, and then suddenly he's internally processing all that stuff that he hasn't processed before, and he's not paying attention to the questions at all.
Work too good at the moment.
Answers. Right, I need to do that.
Right, and that could affect his shogi play.
Definitely.
Because in some ways, let's think about this probably a bit in the wrong way, but in terms of the mechanics of making this match
more interesting.
Soya needs to be nerfed a little bit.
Right, exactly. If he's on a bad day, then they can actually
explain why Rei is actually able to beat him one game or able to play at his level.
Right, not be instantly crushed like Rei is worried about happening.
Yes.
Because that's a very real thing.
It's a very real thing. Yeah. Soya has like a 70% win rate across his career, which is
and amongst the champions.
Right.
So
right. Any game that has a pure strategy, non-luck based, aspect of it, the only luck determining factor in this game, I believe, is who goes first.
Right.
So if you have a 70% win rate at the top of the game,
when you're playing against the other people that are the best,
right, that means you are taking anyone that faces you and giving them an average of a 30% win rate.
Right.
I know it's simple math. It's like, water is wet, Caleb, but that is insanely low.
And the idea of a 30% win rate might not feel that, bad, because it's like, well, hey, they're up against the best of the best. But these people are also the best of the best.
Well, yeah, also, and the matches aren't just one game, which means that in terms of him winning series, him winning matches, so if you play 5 games with Soya, and you're only going to win a third of them on average, but you need to win 3 of the 5.
Oh yeah,
you will not beat him.
Yeah, you're toast.
Like his match win percentage is probably like 90%.
Yeah, it's that whole thing where like when you have like, okay, 70%, 30%, that doesn't seem too bad. But when you do like 5 of those in a row, and then it's like best of 3 out of 5, and it's like, then that compounds, and then your odds, it's 30% of like 30% of 30%. Like it's not that great.
It's not that great.
Yeah.
I think that actually comes out to probably him having a 90% win rate with regards to.
I'm not totally sure what the stats would work out to be, but
I'm not sure either, but. Something.
Mm-hmm.
Math me not do good. So, all right. So I would say that this episode is a setup episode.
Yes.
There was a lot of good humor.
Mm-hmm.
This was the
talk
first
with
time.
Hayashida.
Yes, that was so wholesome. But I gotta say, this was the first time in a while this show has made me gut bust belly laugh.
Oh yes.
I cannot believe that it was the coughing. It was literally just Yanagihara Seiyu coughing that made me die of laughter.
Because they're both all bundled up.
But that's the thing. For me, it was literally just hearing the Seiyu. Like, I'm just imagining them in the booth, just like into the mic and stuff.
Especially considering,
and it's just like, oh my god, that's so fun.
With what we've been built up for Shogi, previously, it's very much this thing of like even the guy that was making all like the nervous noise, like the grinding his teeth and tapping his foot or whatever, that was considered very rude, right? It's like, come on, bro. This is like, this is a quiet, somber, serious, sacred thing that we're doing here. And then here, these 2 old geezers. Well, I mean, Shimada's not that old, but he basically
his Shogi career's taken 15 years off his lifespan,
or 30.
So. I mean, 15. Let's be real. He's not got that many wrinkles.
But the idea that they're both there, and when it would normally be quiet and calm and serene, and both in there, they're all bundled up. and the fact that like maybe this is a normal thing when you're just like pushing a pawn up, I think, or just moving one space straight forward. But like usually when I see Rei do stuff, he'll like
places it
he'll pick it up
and then drag it back.
Right, and then drag it back, right? Yep. Whereas this and then he just sort of pushes it forward. Like, oh man.
Like, I could see in some ways it being like annoying to hear, but the way in which it was described, the presentation of it,
and the fact that the chairman is like, how could you do this? Like, you like really you're questioning like that I do posters like
we
this?
did this bad Photoshop poster,
right.
They got the shoujo manga one.
Right.
Like,
when you give games like that, do you think anyone's going to sponsor us when that's what we have? Like, no, come on, that's not exciting.
But then we had freaking what's his name? What's his name? The Ninth Dawn smart guy with the glasses. Well, anyway, he was basically like, well, it was actually like pretty lively online. Like,
right. Like the idea that like all the people in chat must have just been like, oh, this is great.
This is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like being really irreverent about it. Mm-hmm. Crap, I'm upset. I don't.
Well, right. It was the Ninth Dawn that we forgot was a Ninth Dawn.
Kumakura?
I believe
it might be Kumakura.
Maybe
I'm not sure.
The one that Rei faced in like season 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
But
I just loved how he was like, yeah, as one of the moderators or commenters. Oh no, he was a commenter on the match with the board up, and everything like
and he's
that.
Like, yeah, and being like, wait, 5-1. So wait. Why did he do that? I think that might have cost him the match, folks. And the fact that they're throwing jabs at each other, verbal jabs, while the match is going.
Right. Like they are old, like an old married couple. Yep, like they're all like throwing crap at each other, like.
That was wonderful.
Right.
That was
like,
wonderful.
I have never played competitive sports at like a tournament level, except for once where I was in a chess club when I was like 10 years old, and I went to one of the things where they have the tables all and everything set up. And the thing was I was playing against 7-year-olds. Like, that's how good they were and how bad I was.
With their parents that are like, okay, Johnny, have you
it
learned what
really
we taught
creepy.
You?
But the thing was I played 5 games. And I killed it. Like, I got 4 wins and a tie out of 5 games. So in my very low bracket, there was this thing there. But the thing was that there was no like crap talking to each other, because that was a considered like bad thing. Like, if anyone was making noise like that, someone would come by, like a moderator, and they'd be like, quiet. But you'd get these psychological stares, and I'm talking like from 7-year-olds. Like when you'd make a move, they'd kind of look at you and go like, are you really like, you think that move was a good idea? But the fact that like somehow like I actually did really well in my like bottom of the bottom, rank bracket or what have you, I was just like, yeah, that was pretty cool. But like the parents at the end, when I would like walk away from a match and you'd see them ask like, did you win? How'd it go? And they're like, no, and they'd shake their head or whatever, and then they'd look at me
and just like purse their lips,
like daggers with their eyes, and I'd just be like,
oh man, parents of
but yeah, anyway, random tangent. I just wanted to say that like the idea that you would have, I mean, I guess because they have the room to themselves as a one-on-one only match, it makes more sense that they would get away with that. But it's just like, no, you don't do that in that kind of environment at all.
And from what I've
especially
seen
as they're
so far,
masters,
they're masters. Yeah. And also there seems to be a lot more ceremony surrounding shogi than chess by far.
A lot more.
So the idea they're doing it in that kind of environment, oh boy.
Yeah. It's good fun for us though.
Yep. Oh yeah.
But great. Yeah, Hayashida, the wholesome moment, that was amazing.
And Kyoko didn't show up. Knock on wood, but but like
literally the next episode, like I just like lying there twitching on your shoulder, and you're like, Caleb, wake up. I can't. But Hayashida lishing, and then giving the good questions back to Rei, so that he figures it out himself.
Yeah, he Hayashida knows what went down without even needing to ask the question. He's like, so did this happen, and then this, and then this. And he's like, well, yeah, how did you know?
Really, bro? Really?
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah,
that was great.
It was a good episode. I am astonished with what's going on with Soya.
Yeah.
I am excited because it's like, oh, they're going to go into it quickly. Like, not the details, but they're going to get it rolling quickly, which means we can go pretty far with it.
And the fact that they're doing such character-focused stuff so quickly, that was such a surprise, when usually from what like has happened with shogi stuff in the past, unless it's revolving around Rei specifically, and since he's had so much growth, I was kind of like, okay, is this just going to be a match, and then they're going to try and make it cool and stuff, and, you know, the presentation of the hotel and whatnot, but, like, okay, it's just going to be shogi. But then, no, okay, we've got deep character stuff that we're going to get into.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's good. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there, and any level of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about these stories, about anime in general, or you can talk with Jacob about his book.
Yes, my sci-fi novel, Battle Lines, is still available for order on Amazon. The link is in the description below, and there may be some signed copies left.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.